Okay, I'm going to try a little experiment. I'm in the middle of a Zoom session that everybody has left, and I'm just going to go over what I did kind of at the beginning of class, which is how to find a cube root, a third root on a calculator like Google's calculator or your phone calculators. Some calculators do have a third root button, although they're kind of hard to find. They're typically kind of where the square root probably is. And they probably also have like an X root, a generic root button. But I'm going to show you how you can do it here. And this will work if you've got, most calculators definitely have an X to the Y button. So the idea for the X to the Y button is if like I do 5 squared, it's 25. If I do 5 to the third power, it is 125. If I do 9 to the fourth power, it is 6561. I'm going to write that down because we're going to use it again in a minute. Okay, so if I want to work backwards, basically a fractional root is the same as a fractional exponent is the same as a root. So like we know, I can do square root of 25. It's 5. But if I want to use the X to the Y button, if I do 25, X to the Y, so 25 is my base, Y is my exponent, so I've got the little exponent there. And here I've got to use the parentheses because there's no way for me to do 1/2 on this calculator. I'm going to do parentheses, 1 divided by 2, that's 1/2. And then I can close the parentheses or I can just hit equals. And then, oh, that's 5. And so in the same way, if I wanted to find the square root of 9, which I already know what it is, so do 9 raised to the parentheses, 1 divided by 2, and that's 3. So the problem we did in class the other day was what was the cube root or third root of 27, which I think most people recognize. Oh, it's 3 times 3 times 3. But if I didn't know that or wanted to use a calculator to do it, I'd do X to the, my dog is barking, 1 divided by 3. So 1/3 is a third root, and that's 3. In the same way that 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 2 to the fourth power, that's 16. So if I did 16 and I wanted to find the fourth root, I would do, oops, try that again, 16 X to the Y, that gives me the little exponent symbol, and 1 divided by 4, it says what's the fourth root, and that is 2. So let's do one more, that's 6561. Let's say I didn't know what that was, and I wanted to find the fourth root of that. So once again, do X to the Y, 1 to the 4, and there's that 9 that because I had done that one earlier. I'm gonna give you a couple more problems that you can try and check yourself. So what about if I wanted not the square root, but the cube root of 100? What times what times what is 100? So I'm gonna raise it to the, sorry about my dog. Okay, so when I hit equals, that's 4.64. And I can check this as like, well, is that times itself, answer, times itself, answer, is that 100? And if it is, I did this right, which it is. All right, I'm gonna give you 2 more. I'm gonna pick 625. What is the fourth root of 625? So what times what times what times what? So 4, the same number times itself 4 times in a row. What is the fourth root of that? So we raise it to the fourth power, or to the 1/4 power is like the fourth root, and that's 5. That's one that I knew. I'm going to do 2 more. Okay, 1,000. What is the third root of 1,000? What times what times what is 1,000? I raise it to the 1/3, and it's 10. That one you probably know. Okay, so here's the other question. What is the fourth root of 1,000? What times what times what times what? I think that was 4 of them, is 1,000. So that's one I don't know. I'm going to do 1,000. I'm going to raise it. I'm going to say, okay, I want it to the fourth root. It's 5.6, and I can check it here. Times answer, times answer, times answer. It's that same number 4 times in a row. Gets me back to 1,000. Now, if I had rounded that to like 5.62, it'd get me close, but it'd be a little bit small. Okay, last one. I'm going to pick something that you can maybe guess at. Oh, okay. So let's pick something else. See if we can estimate it. I know that uh, 8. No, let's see. I'm trying to make one up here. I don't have a lot. Okay, 6 times 6 times 6 is 216. Okay, so what is the third root of 200? So first of all, can you estimate it? What do you think it's going to be? If we know 6 times 6 times 6 is 216, what is the third root of 200? And then let's find out what it exactly is. 1/3 divided by 3. And it's 5.8, which is what I was expecting because I knew 216. So we can kind of estimate these roots if we have a few of them in our head, but you're probably going to use a calculator. And if you've got a calculator that's got the root symbol, the roots are somewhat common, but not super common. And you know, when you get to algebra 2 and calculus, you may need to find 4th and 5th and 6th roots and so on. So it's nice to know how to use that button if needed. That's all. Thanks. Gotta figure out how to stop recording.